let's go to the number 34 class. That's Mississippi State. And they have 22 commits, 3 of which are ESPN 300 commits. They have 17 3-stars, 4 4-stars. Their 3 ESPN 300 commits are Antonio Harmon, who's the number 6 tight end, H, which, just a refresher, the H refers to tight ends who are the more versatile flex type. And then the Y tight ends are more conventional tight ends. So that's a good addition with him. And then Theodore Knox, the number 19 athlete, and then Sawyer Robertson, who's the number 11 ranked pocket passing quarterback. So, Mike Leach obviously trying to develop that air raid offense. He's going to need plenty of arms to choose from, I think, if last year taught us anything. So Knox and Robertson are both from Texas, and Robertson, the quarterback, he actually turned down an offer from Texas. So that's a big win for them.
He must have really liked what Mike Leach was selling.
He must have. Who knows?
Which is good, though.
Yeah.
Considering all the kind of turmoil in the locker room that Leach had and people wanting to leave and not gelling with him, he needs somebody to buy in, especially at the quarterback position.
Well, here's the thing with Leach is that I think obviously he came in and a lot of those guys were not his guys. And just the way he is, you really just have to think like him, which there's not many people like that. It's a very specialized kind of player that's going to be attracted to his football team. So I think you'll see more a better locker room atmosphere.
Yeah. Turning down hanging out with Matthew McConaughey to go hang out with Mike Leach is definitely a mood.
That's like 2 different versions of cool, though. One is just a weird cool. Well, they're both weird, but you know what I mean.
They're both really weird. It's just different ends of the weird spectrum. You've got all right. And then you've got like Blackbeard the pirate. So it's just different ends of the spectrum. You got to choose your weird. And he chose his weird.
Let's see. So again, going back to the air raid, a few of their top wide receiver prospects unfortunately ended up flipping to other schools such as LSU and Ole Miss. So we'll have to wait and see how they're going to do at the wide receiver position. I didn't see many extremely highly ranked wide receivers from this class, but obviously we'll see who steps up. DeLand High School in Central Florida added some defensive players to the mix for them. Recruiting from there, they got outside linebacker Tamar Rogers. And then they also got the number 3 inside linebacker from the JUCO top 50. And that's Deshaun Page. So I always like to see those JUCO pickups. I always pull for them. Let's see, Jesse, your thoughts on this class from Mike Leach?
Yeah, I mean, it's a step in the right direction for sure. Like we mentioned, he's got to get his own guys in there. It takes a very special player to buy into the offense, a very special player to buy into Mike Leach. He's not everyone's cup of tea, for sure. I can only imagine his recruiting pitch when he's in Homes or on Zoom or whatever it is, whatever they did this time. So it's good. He's got some guys in there. Again, a little worried about who he's going to have the ball thrown to. It's great to have that kind of flex tight end that can act as that, but he's going to need to boost his wide receiving core. So we'll see what happens there, but it does show if he's pulling people out of Florida, especially kind of that area of Florida around Daytona. It's a great recruiting area. So to be able to pull some recruits from there is fantastic. And yeah, like you said, dipping into that JUCO bubble is great. There's a lot of good talent there if you can find it. So
yeah, I see him
see what happens.
Visiting somebody's house and them giving him like a cup of coffee. Here's your coffee, coach. And he does that thing at his press conference where he just sat there going for like a solid minute. And he's just like, what are you doing? All right. So it's just, that's how I picture awkward silence.
He would just like start talking. He'd see something and be like, oh, well, that quilt actually started on ships from England. And he would just like go off and you'd be like, Coach, you've been here 3 hours. I just want to know if I have an offer. What is it, full scholarship? Is it like a partial? Am I going to have to walk on? Like, what are we? And he'd be like, oh, right. Like,
Exactly.
Let's get back to the matter at hand.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I think would happen.
Less.
But
Talking
maybe I'm
about-
wrong. Maybe he's just like a brass tack guy. I don't know.
I'm sure he'd probably work in a Custer's Last Stand reference somewhere or something like that. So
Absolutely. Battle of Thermopylae or something.
that's right. Matt, what you got on this one?
I'm looking at the list of recruits, and there's a lot of 3 stars, which isn't a bad thing. But a couple of these names pop out, like Deshaun Page we were talking about, and a couple others. And again, the transfers are always the ones that I'm always intrigued by. This Jalen Green kid out of Texas as a cornerback, came out of high school rated as a 4-star, has dropped down to a 3-star according to 247 Sports. But again, just bolstering that defense a little bit, looks like, with the cornerback. So that'll be good, especially when they start, having to play SEC defense. So again, this is Leach's second year, right? So this is his first complete cycle.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting to see exactly what they're doing. I know he's got a lot of kids from Mississippi, which is good because you want to keep that talent in state. I don't know how that compares to Ole Miss. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, they signed more kids in Mississippi than Ole Miss did. So
Yeah.
that's got to be worth something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.